What's up, everybody? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I am James, as always, joined by Kaelyn. And we had last weekend was a great time for fights. We will get to that. But right now we're going to talk about Bellator because Bellator is going to be coming up shortly. So, of course, we got to make our picks and do all that fun stuff. So let's get right into it. We have a women's flyweight championship up for grabs. But we're going to go to an earlier fight and work our way to that. So we have Johnny Eblen versus Travis Davis. Eblen is 8-0. Davis is 10-2.
What do you think? I don't think being that he has an undefeated record, I'm not going to automatically say he'll get it. But their bouts are pretty much. 8 to 12. Experience is almost the same, kind of.
Yeah. This is a hard pick.
I'll go for the undefeated.
You know what? I also will do the same. And then we have Arlene Cowie versus Diana Silva. 9-6 versus 13-8.
Well,
man, that's to go from 8-0 and 10-2 to 13-8 to 9-6. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a featherweight featured bout.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Brazilian.
You're gonna go with the Brazilian?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go against the grain with the name I can't pronounce.
All right.
I'll go with Arlene. Boom. I know that name. All right. And we have Matias versus CJ Hamilton. We have 12-2-1 against 15-8. And
well,
I'm gonna have to go with Matos on this.
Yeah, same here.
Sometimes Bellator, they do really great matchmaking in certain fights, but then other fights, you can tell.
These could be really good fights, though.
That's true. That's very true. But 15-8, come on, man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little more lopsided than other bouts.
Oh man, this guy! I haven't seen. Do you remember the last time Matt Mitrione fought? How long ago was it? Was it not that long?
It was in Bellator. Couldn't tell you against two offhand.
I forgot.
But it's been a while. He's fighting Tyrell Fortune, who's 10-1.
Yeah,
experience is on Mitrione's side.
Yeah, it is.
It really is good with the 13-8. But I almost want to pick Fortune just to.
I was gonna say that too.
To go against the grain. You gonna do that too? All right.
Yeah, man. I always pick Mitrione, and I kind of get disappointed. So I'm gonna go against him.
It's almost like we're talking about his UFC career.
Oh God.
Yeah. And now we move on to the women's flyweight world title match between Juliana Velasquez versus Denise Kielholtz. Kielholtz. That's why, I was kind of getting that way to pronouncing it like that.
Not
that
fast
just
enough,
sounds.
Not fast.
No,
enough.
I know. I'm slow. But yeah, I was also that sounds super dangerous. Kielholtz. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it sounds like a metal band.
Velasquez is undefeated, so I have to pick her.
That's actually what I was gonna pick as well. So
this might be a really well. I was gonna say
we will see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Those are our picks for Bellator. That's going to be coming on pretty quick. So if you have Showtime, either watch us before or after. We'd appreciate the viewership. We appreciate you guys. So enjoy that Bellator tonight. But we've done our picks. We're going to move on to last week's picks for the UFC, and we tied. We went 4 for 4 for our picks. It was because you picked Max Griffin would beat Carlos Condit, and I picked Aldona. So that's what gave us the tie.
That was it. Okay. Damn it.
That was it. Yeah. So we have first off Sean O'Malley versus Chris Mountain Ho. That dude, so he lost in the third by a TKO, which
well,
the dude was, as you said, he was a zombie. It was a great fight.
Yes.
He ate a lot of punches, yes, but still he was performing really well. For eating as many punches as he was.
He ate punches very well.
He did, but what I mean by that is he didn't look weary. He just kept moving forward.
He was in it the whole time. He was in it. I don't know. I don't want to say he was very productive the whole time, but all the shots that he took the entire time, it was crazy that he didn't fall or get knocked down from all of those shots that he took could have knocked someone out. Every single one of them. True.
But also it did inflict damage to his face, but not enough damage to knock him out or put him down.
Yeah.
So props to him. Props to him.
Sean O'Malley, I think, threw everything at him, everything, and it all landed really well every single time. O'Malley did take some shots a little bit. I think even the commentator said that he was a little rocked at one point, and it kind of looked like it. But, Sean O'Malley's really tough. You knew that wasn't going to put him out. But still, he did get caught with some stuff that Chris had for him. But also, I'm disappointed. I just watched it again, so I'm disappointed with the ref calling it when he did, because especially for a debut and for taking that many shots, I think you should get the chance to finish the fight.
There was only 30 seconds left. The fight should have went to a decision. Personal opinion, of course.
Was. I believe it was. And instead of having that loss to unanimous decision, he has a loss from a TKO, which I don't think you could have definitely let it go. Unless, I don't know what the argument is for, I think it was Herb Dean that ref this fight. Or I could be wrong.
It could have been just that he was eating a lot of strikes.
Yeah, because the refs, their whole thing is they're there to protect you technically, and if they think you're taking too much damage, he definitely did take way too much damage. He definitely did.
Especially when you look at the total strikes. Wow.
yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. But for sticking it out that long, man, just let him go for the rest of the time. You should just let him go. He was already there. He might as well just if he let it go for that long, you might as well let it go for the rest of the time, because he could have, if he's going based off him taking damage, he could have called that fight whenever he wanted.
Very true.
It could have ended in the first, the second, or the beginning of the third, but he let it go so long, and it's like, man, you might as well you waited so long, you might as well wait more, so that kind of sucked. Sean O'Malley looked like a complete expert, which he should have. So he did what he was supposed to do. All of his shots were so clean, man. He even did a spinning back kick, I think, a few times to the oblique. It was crazy. He landed all his shots that he took, that he threw. But
also, what's crazy is after this fight, people aren't talking about O'Malley. They are, in the sense that he has another win under his belt, but they're not talking about him. They're talking about his opponent and all the things that have changed for him since even this loss, but just the exposure that he has garnered from this. That's phenomenal.
But for a debut, and you're on a Conor McGregor card, I know he was a replacement, but that's that's huge to be, first of all, just to be on a McGregor card, and then also the main card, and also it's your debut against someone really experienced. But I'm okay with people not talking about how good Sean O'Malley did, because he did what he was supposed to do. You would expect something like that out of him. I'm sure he felt really good too, especially coming off of I think it was those last two fights that he had with that injury and his loss. I don't know. I like this fight a lot. I'm happy for the guy that made his debut, because now he's got his foot in the door, and now who he fights next, all eyes are going to be on that also. So he definitely made a good deal for himself going into this fight for taking it.
Yeah, completely agree. good for him. And, look forward to see if they'll probably bring him back, but I'm curious to see who they will match him up against. And hopefully this time he can turn it around and get the win.
Yeah, I'd like to see him throw more shots,
Yeah.
see what happens, see how much power he really has against someone on his level.
All right, now we have Aldona versus
Oh
Yana.
my God, what did you think of this fight?
It
was crazy.
Expected more out of Yana, but
Dude,
I picked Aldona, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. But also, rewatching this was almost my, between this one and another one, this was almost my favorite fight. I know I was going for Yana. I always do. I like her. But also, all her strikes she was doing up until she got knocked down were perfect. All those kicks that she was landing were so good. It was really fun to watch her throw all those kicks and actually land it. I know Irene Aldana is super tough, and she probably didn't get too hurt from those, and her boxing's really good. She was able to time everything right with the counter to get that. But man, this was a really exciting fight. I love this fight.
James.
Almost my favorite.
Archie, welcome to the mix. We were actually discussing last week's UFC card, and we were just kind of going over what happened on the card, and then we're going to move on to this UFC this weekend, and we're going to make our picks. So welcome to the fold. And we were just discussing the Aldana fight, and I picked Aldana. I was excited because she got the win, especially at 4:35 in the first round. That was awesome. Go me. Ha ha ha.
But also very exciting round. This was almost my favorite fight. So I think they both did really good. Yana came out really, really good though. She looked better than normal. I think even Joe Rogan was commenting on how sharp she looked, a little different from her past fight. So she was doing good. She just got caught with a really clean counter with a good check hook. So, good for Irene Aldana. But man, I love that fight. Even though she lost, I love that fight still.
Well, I'm glad you appreciated the fight. I appreciated it, of course. Oh, got the win. I need these wins. I got at least tie you.
Though, who do you think she fights next? Because she deserves anyone above her. So
she is number 4. So
yeah,
top 3.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Then we had Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy.
This was my favorite fight.
Was it your favorite fight because of the outcome or because of Tuivasa's celebration after he won?
No, all of it. It was. I love seeing these because Tai Tuivasa always has these kind of fights where he just delivers a really big, really big shot in it. Right away knockout. So these two, but both these guys, Tai Tuivasa could have gotten knocked out before he threw that. He was wobbled a little bit, which was crazy because Greg Hardy has a lot of power. But Tai Tuivasa just did what he always does, and I love it. It was perfect. I loved it. His celebration, I can't believe they let him do that. I thought that was crazy. That was cool.
And he apparently doesn't like Dustin Poirier's hot sauce. Did you hear about that?
Well, you're talking about a guy who drinks beer from a shoe, so whatever.
That's true. It's like, really? Does it really taste funny?
Yeah.
Really? But that was a crazy fight. I'm glad it ended in a knockout. You expected it to, especially with two heavy-handed heavyweights like these guys. And someone had to go down.
First round, very quick. I liked it. I don't know what's next for Greg Hardy, though. I think he's having a hard time here. I don't know what's going to happen with him. He looked really hurt, though. That punch looked a little scary. Watch the way he reacted right after. It landed, I think it landed a little behind the ear or on the ear. I don't know, somewhere on the side where it didn't look very good, and it was a little scary, but hopefully it's okay.
Now, do you think he'll get cut?
I don't know.
Or they'll give him another fight, and the fight is kind of make or break?
Well, I don't know what his contract is, so I think if he loses any more fights, I think he definitely is going to get cut. That's what happens to everybody when their contract is up. Just don't know how many more fights he has left, or who he's even going to fight for a next fight. So I guess we'll find out.
Very true. Very true. Keep going up the card. Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, what'd you think about this one?
I expected Thompson to get the win. We both picked Thompson. That's who we chose.
I was hoping
I think I expected more striking out of Thompson.
I mean, he did a lot of striking. It's just he got taken down, which is Gilbert Burns' thing. So I'm not really that surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bored of this one.
Burns also, as you can see, threw more strikes. So Thompson wasn't producing enough for my liking. Yes, he was taken down. Yeah, but still, that's his
Stephen
thing.
Thompson times his shots though. He just doesn't go all out. He picks his shots. He's a karate guy. He throws a lot of what's the right word? A lot of showy
flashy kicks.
Flashy, yeah. And he did do that. It's just I've seen it. Seen it before. I was a little bored, especially after seeing those other fights. Right off the bat, this one kind of it was a little boring. I think even the fans booed Gilbert Burns for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here, though. I think we talked about this last time where he's already fought Kamaru Usman. I don't want to see that fight again unless someone beats Kamaru Usman and then there's a fight. But I don't know where he goes from here.
Well, he'll probably get another title shot because he's ranked number 2. It's probably going to just be another fight against Usman and another loss because he's going to lose to Usman.
I don't even know if UFC will do that. We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe they'll have him fight the number 1 contender. Maybe.
I don't know.
Now decided.
But he did call out Masvidal.
They seem like they already have a trail. They could do that, but they seem like they already have a trail with who they're going to have Usman fight next. So they're going to go that route.
But he did call out Masvidal. I think that could be a good fight. I think that could be
interesting.
Well, any Masvidal fight's pretty interesting. So
true, because it's like, what Masvidal are we going to get? Are we going to get the guy who's going to come out and rock him easy, rock him quick? Or are we going to get the long term? And that's probably where Burns would get him, is in the long haul.
Yeah, he did call out Nate Diaz also. I don't know. That could be a cool fight too.
That would be an interesting fight. But I don't think it would do it. It would do something for his fight record and his notoriety. But I don't think it would do anything to get him closer to the title.
Not as long as Usman's there, and I think he's going to be there for a while. But he is number 2. He gets those options, so we'll see.
Very true, very true. And we're going to go to the main event of that evening.
Oh, man. Hey.
Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Man. So according to stuff that's come out as of late, McGregor had a stress fracture going into that fight.
Yeah.
And almost pulled out.
So, probably. I believe. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know people are saying that they don't believe that. But, I mean, for something to break like that, it could kind of do. And the way he just fell on it was, you could tell it was super weak, And I don't know how hard. I don't know. I don't remember when Poirier said he checked one of his kicks. I don't remember seeing exactly which one. The one I thought I saw, and it was a picture. I hope it wasn't fake, but he kind of caught his elbow and his forearm on one of them. I don't see someone's shin breaking off of that, though. So I don't know about that. I do believe it probably was injured before, because if it was, it's not like McGregor to say he doesn't want to fight. He didn't want to pull out of the fight. I don't think anybody would. Probably wanted to save the event because it was being as huge as it was. He just was going to go in there and try to do it anyways. I think that could be true. I don't care either way. It doesn't matter. But I think that I'm not going to call him a liar. I think he probably did have an injury.
I think you're right. I think he probably did go in injured. But what fighter also doesn't go in injured? Most of them have lingering injuries. Most fighters don't go into a fight 100%.
Yeah, and also he's not as active as Dustin Poirier either. I think maybe he does other things outside of training now that maybe his body isn't as conditioned as it used to be when he was fighting all the time and really trying to get to the top and get those belts. He has all this money. He can pretty much do whatever he wants now. So if he doesn't want to train, then, I think that's a possibility that he's not as conditioned as he used to be. Or it's just an injury and it happens after, you've been fighting for so long. what do you think's gonna happen? You know,
Yeah,
you're fighting
I
and
don't think
getting injured. That's the name of the
he
game.
hasn't suffered like a horrendous injury, so
He hasn't.
this
He's been lucky.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but also besides the leg break, if it didn't happen, who was getting that fight though?
I felt like Dustin was doing really well. It tripped me out when Conor went for a guillotine. I was like, "What?"
I think
that's not his forte.
I know, but he got hit pretty hard before that, and I think he had to do whatever he had to do to get out of that fight with a win at that point.
Oh yeah, no, it was interesting that he went for it. You knew he wasn't going to get it.
It was right there, though. You got to try, right?
No, exactly. That's the thing. It was interesting that he went for it. That's what I'm saying.
You know what else is funny? All his trash talk is totally turned around on him. It
was great that he was talking smack after his leg was messed up. He was sitting on the ground and talking smack to him. Your wife's in my DMs.
He was doing anything he could possibly think of, but also even before the fight, he was saying how submissions don't count. That's not a real finish. You got to knock him out.
Yeah, he went for submission.
And then he said, I think he also threatened Poirier with his life, that he was going to leave on a stretcher and all that. And that kind of turned around, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny after the fight. Poirier's wife was in there, totally flipped him off. It was hilarious.
She's like, I wasn't in your DMs, Conor.
Yeah. They showed a picture of it, of her like sending a request or something, which could mean anything. That doesn't mean she was trying to send them any kind of particular message. Conor McGregor, I think, was supposed to pay Poirier for the last fight to donate to his foundation. And then it never happened. I don't know if it did happen after that, but that could have been regarding that. She could have been asking for the money. I don't know.
She's all, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Not like that. I need the money. I need the scratch.
Probably. But also, did you see that chain that was it Jake Paul?
I did see that. I thought that was hilarious.
I get them mixed up. I think it was Jake Paul, right? That really expensive, good-looking chain. I looked a little goofy with McGregor on it, but it's funny. He offered to give that to Dustin, and he asked him if he wanted to break the ankle off for him or if he wanted to do it. And he's like, yeah, send it over. And then he turned around and donated it to his charity, which is even better. That's like classic of Dustin Poirier.
You didn't pay us that money for like you said. So here's this. Yeah,
he almost doesn't accept any extra money for himself. It all goes to his foundation and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Which is really awesome of him.
That was funny, and it ended up really cool. The cool ending with that that chain.
I thought Poirier looked great the entire fight. I thought his striking was on par. He looked phenomenal. To me, it looked great. So
McGregor also, I have to say, McGregor didn't look terrible in the beginning. He didn't look terrible.
He didn't, but the whole grappling was just really strange because he's not really known for that. So I thought that was whoa, that's different.
He knew what was coming. I think he felt some of his shots and he's like, okay, crap, I'm desperate. Let's pull something. Let's do something here, So I don't know. I think he was desperate. And you could tell he was really fired up. And it just was kind of weird. You know how he normally is? He is known for his trash talking, but this time seemed a little desperate and maybe fake. Maybe he was trying to make as much money as possible for this fight. I don't know. It was kind of weird. And he went a little bit too far to where it's like something else is going on. I don't know. It didn't seem genuine of McGregor to say all those things, because also he went pretty far with his trash talk also. But whatever, who cares? That
made it so much better.
I know, but it didn't seem like that was genuine, the trash talk. He looked angry for whatever reason. I don't even know. I don't know. Anyways, those were my thoughts on it.
Well, that was the UFC. I don't
care what happens to him. I don't know.
I don't either. Like the homeboys made a lot of money. I'm good. Like if he never fought again, I'd be all right. They just got to find a new mouthpiece.
He's answered questions, about if he fights who would win. He's already had a couple fights against people that he can't beat, and it's that. The main thing for me, when I don't want to say totally lost interest, because I think I would watch every fight that McGregor does, just because. But after losing to Nate Diaz was like, okay, this guy's not invincible. We've seen him lose, not a big deal anymore. And then also getting knocked out by Poirier. So I'm over it. I don't care what he does. Good for him for doing what he has done so far, though. And I hope that leg, I'm getting so tired of watching people's shins break. I don't know about you. I feel like we've seen this way too much lately. All these weird injuries, they get so, I don't know, it makes me feel queasy inside whenever I see someone's shin break or their arm bend the other way or their shoulder pop out. It's just been happening a lot lately.
But when you have such popular stars getting injured like this is a great opportunity for younger stars to really make a name for themselves. And okay, it's one thing you have to be a great fighter, yes, but you need that entertainment style. Conor McGregor had that going for quite some time, but now he has been losing. But now this is the opportunity for some of these younger fighters to run their mouth and get that spot.
Yeah. You kind of cut out there. I didn't know what you said in the last part, but
younger fighters need to amp up their entertainment game and run their mouth more.
If they're good at it, if they're not good at it, it's kind of cringy,
That's true.
Also, I'm kind of dying to see a really good fight that doesn't end in an injury. Knockout's cool. Broken shins, kind of tired of it. We've seen it. I've seen it way too many times in the last few years of my life, whether it's on UFC or training partners. It's just I'm kind of tired of it. I don't know. I was hoping for a really good. I was hoping for some closure on that trilogy. I think Dustin would have won anyway, but of course something happens where you don't get that stamp on it.
Very true. I look forward to number 4 though, because they're still going to run their mouths at each other. It's going to be great.
I don't think number 4 is going to happen. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Do you think Conor's going to get the surgery, get it all fixed, and be like, I'm done?
I think his emotions are pretty high right now, and I think he's just going to not do it. He has so many other things going on. I don't think and also, who wants to kick with your leg after that happening? I'd be so nervous to throw it as if it never happened, So I see a lot of problems for him coming up now, whether retiring or even being the same fighter now, because he's a striker. You're taking away one of his limbs that he might not be so confident in anymore. I don't know. We'll see. And if he fights someone with a lower status in the UFC, he could win pretty big like he normally does. I feel like he's kind of stuck because you have Dustin Poirier, who he seemed to can't get past now, but also anyone below him, he could probably kill,
Sure. But it's what do you do? And I think they should have him probably, when he comes back, fight somebody who is kind of, let's be real, fed to him, because then it'll give him a chance to get that ring rust off and get back to what we are used to with the Conor McGregor. We had a comment
for anyone, especially after an injury like that. Like, think about Chris Weidman. I know his probably seemed a little worse. Honestly, it's the shin. It's crazy. It's a crazy break either way. But I don't know. I feel so fortunate to not have done that.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, man. And I kind of don't want to see it ever again in the UFC. Like, I'm ready for a fight that either goes the distance between two fighters with no injuries.
It's going to happen. Somebody's going to get eye poked. Somebody's going to break something.
There's been so many eye pokes, too. So many eye pokes, leg injuries, broken bones. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's been happening a lot more lately. I don't know if maybe people are, hitting harder, taking more chances that they didn't before. I don't know what it is about the fighters nowadays. I don't know. So
our buddy Van commented, "It's the next man up rule. Just who can match Conor's personality." Very true, sir.
Yeah,
very true.
So with McGregor in the position he's in, it'd be interesting to see who's going to be the next McGregor that has that attitude that'll draw views. I don't know. I like the fact that that McGregor was Irish. He had that demeanor about him, crazy, always wanted to fight and stuff. So he definitely had like that star power personality. He had definitely had an identity, So
and he has his own alcohol, which proves he's a drunk. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but Yeah, I don't know. I wonder who's going to be next with that. Someone's got to do it. Someone has to,
I feel like you have Kobe Covington who's trying to do that, or Colby Covington, whatever, is trying to do that, yet he's doing it from a stance of a political aspect rather than just a guy who's really good at running his mouth about any and everything.
Yeah, but the part that sucks about the whole political thing is that ends after, he did it. He did it when Trump was already in office for a couple years, so he caught that in the middle, and he took that personality
and rode that wave.
But that goes away. We get a new president every 4 years, or at least an election. So after that's gone, what do? You gotta. It's not like you could just pick something else. You're kind of limited, and I know he did that to save his ass.
He could repackage himself. I mean, it happens. It happens in pro wrestling. He just has to step away for a minute and then come back with something else. I mean, the thing is this is also MMA.
Super annoying. So
people will remember people will remember what he has said previously, but yet he can repackage and rebrand himself.
He has to. He has no choice. Unless he just gets way better at fighting and ends up just beating everyone undisputed. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I actually forgot about him until you mentioned him right now.
Well, I do what I can. All right, there is fights this weekend. The UFC, of course, because Bellator's tonight. It'll be happening soon. So we'll try and get through this pretty quick so that you guys can go enjoy that. We have... Oh, that's not it. Where'd it go? There it is. Aha. All right, this is the Fight Night card. We have Gabriel Benitez versus Billy Quarantine, because I'm not even going to guess with that last name. His name's Billy Quarantine.
Quarantillo.
It looks like quarantine to me. Just saying.
No. Yeah, anyways. Okay.
22-9, 15-2.
Man.
That's a huge difference in experience.
It is, but also that's a pretty big that's a lot of experience for just a UFC fighter in general.
Very much so. Because you have some guys that don't have very many fights on the Contender Series, and then you're like, oh, there's this guy who's fought everybody. Literally everybody.
Yeah.
All right. So who do you pick for this bout?
Benitez for sure.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go that way as well. Based off experience, experience does so much for you. So let's go ahead and continue up this card. We have Rodolfo Vieira versus Dustin. That sounds right.
That sounds perfect.
Sounds good. 7-1 though.
Actually, how you say it, you hear
me right? 7-1 versus 13-2, both coming off losses. Another mismatch in the way of fights. But Vieira,
what are you gonna do at a certain point? What are you gonna do if you're not ranked? You gotta do what you gotta take whatever fight you can get.
This Dustin dude looks like Tom Hardy, but not Tom Hardy from Warrior.
I don't know. You keep cutting out. I'm sorry. You're having some.
I'm having some internet problems.
Yeah, you don't see it on your end.
No, it's smooth on my end.
Oh wow, because you totally freeze. Just like you did right now.
Damn it. We'll struggle to get through this.
Okay.
We have Vieira, who's 7-1 against a guy who has twice the experience.
Yeah.
And both are coming off losses. That was Vieira's first loss.
Right. You're right. Well, I think I'd have to go with Rodolfo Vieira for this one.
I was actually going to do the same, just because after looking at it, the dude does not like to go to decision. I like that. So hopefully he'll continue on that streak and get the W.
Yeah. I agree.
Jeremy Stevens versus Matias Germano.
I think it's Mateo.
Mateo?
I think so.
Well, what about the S and the Z?
I don't know. I think it's silent. He did. I think he fought recently, so that's why I know, because I noticed the name last time.
I'll figure it out someday. But we have
anyway.
Jeremy Stephens, who has a wealth of experience at 28, 18, and 1 no contest versus 18, 1, and 1 no contest. Stephens is coming off a loss. The other guy's coming off a win. Oh, man. I'm going to have to go with Gamat.
I'm going to go with Stephens. Do you remember what happened to him last time? He pushed that guy at the weigh-ins and gave him a concussion.
Yeah, and the fight didn't happen.
Right. So I don't remember who he lost to before that fight.
I don't either. But I don't
remember.
I mean, if he was smart,
I think Stephens has been ready since that last one, and he's probably been extra careful about this one.
I like Stephens, but I feel like he's on the backside of his career, honestly.
He is. I think he still has it, though. He's got a few more, I think. We'll see about this one, but I think he has extra motivation on this one just because the last one got messed up the way it did. So
from what I've seen from the weigh-ins, he didn't touch him.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Smart move on that one.
All right. Good. That's why the fight's going to happen.
Or the next guy that weighs in against him is just going to put on some headgear.
Right. Puts on padding afterwards. Wears a helmet. All right. Now we have Marion Reneau from Visalia. Local represent right there versus Misha Cupcake Tate. Yeah. Making her return after starting a family. 18-7 for Tate. 9-7-1 for Reneau. This is also Reneau's last fight. She is ranked number 12, but she has also said that she is going to be done after this.
She's 44 years old. I think that's what it said. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
crazy. And then also, she's a female. I don't think I've ever seen that. And I don't know how old Germaine Duranamy is. She could be up there too, but she is. I think she's currently fighting still. But yeah. Anyways, that's a tough lady. She's still fighting, and she's still pretty good for that age. And I can't think of any other woman that I know who's that old still fighting and still looks great and performs well and looks very strong.
Is she your pick?
What was that?
Is she your pick?
Oh, sorry, you cut out there again.
Damn it.
This one's a hard one because although I want to say Misha Tate, I think it's going to be her. I don't know what she's going to be like when she gets in there. It's been so long. Also, she started a family. She looks really good. She looks really confident. I don't know because Marion Reneau has been active, obviously. So I think it's a good fight matchup for the two. And I think it's good that Marion Reneau gets to fight Misha Tate to have that on her resume for her last fight. I wonder what kind of Misha Tate we're going to see, though. She's never really looked bad, though, anyways,
sure.
Before she stopped. So I would have to pick Misha Tate, I feel like, just
all right.
Because I think that's what's going to happen. I think Misha Tate's going to win.
All right,
and I think she's going to use a lot of wrestling, too.
I'm going to pick Reneau just because local. I hope she does it. It's her last fight. I hope she goes out with the win.
Yeah, so, I do want to see Reneau get a win, though, also. I get so disappointed when I see her lose. I'm like, again, man, we'll see. But if I was going to put money on it, or if we're going off of paper, I would say that Misha Tate would get this one, I think.
All right. That was one of the tougher choices that we have because, it's just
I'm
is
happy
what
for
it
both
is.
of them, though.
Especially with Tate. It's great that Tate came back because Tate's a great fighter. But Marion Reneau, she's local and local represent. But hey, good for her. She had a good career,
Yeah, she did. A long career.
Right. Very much so. Now we are at the main event. Versus Islam Makhachev versus Thiago Makhachev. See, the way I'm reading it, I'm not. I gotta take out the H. Makhachev. Okay.
Some people put that in there though, so I don't know.
That's why when I was reading it, I'm like, ooh. Makahakahev.
Yeah, I think that's how you say it, to be honest. But Makhachev is easier, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, number 9 versus number 14, Thiago
Moises.
Moises.
Yeah.
See, I thought the I would have been silent.
I thought so too, but that's how everyone else pronounces it. So
Both fighters are coming off wins. 19-1 versus 15-4. Russia versus Brazil. Man, they do have tendency to go to decision. 42% versus 47%. They do have some knockouts and subs. Who do you? Wow, significant strikes. Okay. As we look at this UFC breakdown,
yeah.
who do you take?
The Russian, of course. Always.
You take the Russian?
Yeah. No question.
I will only take the Russian because I like that little guy who does all those funny videos.
Oh my god!
And he kind of reminds me of him.
Oh, that guy! I love that little guy.
That's why we're always sending each other goofy stuff about him.
No, my favorite was him with the balloons, though. He was tied up to a bunch of balloons inside a pill. Yeah, they were just holding him with a string. And
my favorite was the one where it looks like he's kicking Conor McGregor.
Oh, they did put that in there too. That was good. That was funny.
That's a great one, right?
There's endless memes out there, by the way, about Conor now and his ankle. It's almost sad. Yeah. It's also funny. There's a lot of funny ones out there, but
good times. And I'm surprised. Maybe I have seen one. I just haven't noticed it with Conor talking or Conor something happening, and then Vin Diesel being like, "It's about family."
God, I saw something like that too. That was funny. And I don't know what's up with those.
I did not see that.
Up with those lately. Why is everyone posting those Vin Diesel ones? Is he coming out with a movie or is he?
It's Fast 9. That's what it's related to.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, where did these come from all of a sudden? And he's always been that way, but I don't know what the whole like fad was now about it. I can't look at Facebook or Instagram without seeing it somewhere, you know.
All right. So in other news that was going on, we have done our picks for this week. There's other stuff going on. Let's go ahead and sit down and well, we were already sitting down. Let's go ahead and discuss that. So Khabib has fans young and old.
Yeah.
This lady, from what I understand, was waiting outside in the heat.
Oh,
and
man.
She wanted to get her birthday wish. And that was meeting Khabib and getting a picture with him.
Oh,
and
man.
It paid off because he much obliged and took a photo with her holding her sign. Khabib, please for photo.
That would be me as a grandma right there. Yep.
I wonder if she can fight. That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
I told one of my coworkers, I was like, if you ever broke somebody off with a 2-piece combination, like just flush, I would be astonished. And I would cheer you on so hardcore, you have no idea. But yeah, that's awesome that he did that. I'm glad that happened. It's great when you see fans that want something so bad and finally get it and get to interact with their favorite athletes or celebrities.
Well, yeah, but mostly kids or definitely the elderly, because I like this one a lot.
Very true, very true.
Also, it was cool. Speaking of that, I guess there was a fan in the out there in the fans for Poirier McGregor, and Poirier had given him a shout out. I guess he battling cancer of some sort. So
yes,
that was pretty cool too. So I like that. That's a good story.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the fighters, at least most from what I've seen, they try to take care of those that are battling something, illness or something. Yeah,
I feel like
tremendous. I'm glad they do that.
I feel like the UFC should have like an entire little section of people that, deserve to have something like that happen, that go through, struggles in life or whatever it is. Like terminal illness, like a Make-A-Wish type of thing, but not like that.
See,
It's way cooler when it's UFC.
right? Yeah, but Make-A-Wish does make sense. But Make-A-Wish is geared for more or less for children, maybe
Right.
more of like an adult version.
Whoever deserves it, give it to them. Just, like, why not? It's not like you can't afford to give someone a free ticket and a seat in a section designated for that. I just thought of that right now. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Make-A-Wish. Talking about that, one of the most popular people that does Make-A-Wish, grants wishes, is John Cena. And
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, he's a guy I give all the credit to. I respect the hell out of him for that, because honestly, if I was remotely famous and did Make-A-Wish, like granted wishes, I would start crying because I would start thinking about what these kids are going through, and I would be like, "Hey, nice to meet you." I would just start. Oh, I wouldn't be able to contain myself.
Yeah.
I'd be the worst Make-A-Wish wish granter ever.
You just cry for them.
I would. I'd be like, "I'm so sorry you're going through this, man."
Oh man.
That would get to me. That would get to me. The struggles of some of these people. Like, oh, yeah. That's why I can't be famous. The end. That's a big reason why.
Oh, is that why?
One of them. One of the many multitudes of reasons why.
Yeah.
All right. One of the last things we will discuss on this episode is Nick Diaz is going to return against Robbie Lawler.
I think that's
this will
cool.
be their
like
second
that.
meeting. The last time they fought, you ready for this, was 2004. How old were you in 2004?
14. Yeah.
Now, this was at UFC 47. Honestly, one of my favorites.
Was it?
One of my favorite cards. Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz.
One of them. One of the.
After this fight, I was an intern at a TV station, and I got to meet Chuck Liddell, and I have a poster from that event signed by him.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's really cool, actually.
Those, man. Oh, it just took me back right now. But this card will be their second meeting, and I look forward to it. This is supposed to have, according to this, is UFC 266. Volkanovski versus Ortega for the flyweight belt.
That's already a good. Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's a solid
fight card's
card.
Good. This fight card's really good.
Blades versus Rosenstruck.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
What are the other? Hold on. Scroll back down really quick. Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. I think Murphy's gonna die, but I always love to watch Shevchenko fight. I'm currently watching.
You love to watch Shevchenko murder people? That's cool.
Yeah, of course. Also, the Volkanovski and Brian Ortega. I've been watching The Ultimate Fighter, so that's always cool to watch in the end. Marlon Moraes and Dvalishvili are going to fight. Both of those guys, really good. Roxanne Modafferi is always good, too. Tatiana Suarez is coming back. She's been out for a very long time. She had a neck injury, I think. But she's finally back. I think that's going to be a really good fight for her. I think she's going to win easily. Bueno Silva, I remember her a little bit, but not that much. I don't know who the other one is. But that entire fight card is going to be really good.
You're right. That's a solid fight card, especially when you add Diaz and Lawler. That just man. That's a huge selling point.
Is this a pay-per-view or no?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to be like,
if this was a fight night, I'm like, whoa.
That'd be a really good fight night, but it is a pay-per-view. So that's good. That's good.
This fight takes place September 25th. Last time we saw Diaz in the cage was in 2015. So there's going to be quite a bit of ring rust.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just
I do look forward to it. Yeah, right. I do look forward to it. This should be an amazing fight. It's supposed to be 5 rounds.
Good.
So
do it. Might as well, you know.
I agree.
I wonder what's going to happen after that with both those guys. Are they going to keep fighting after they fight each other? I feel like they're kind of like, well, Nick Diaz, you know, he's been out for forever. I'm sure he's given up on the UFC and anything like that. I'm sure he's coming back
I imagine he's still training.
in some way. Oh yeah, no. Well, they're physically, both those guys are physically active outside of fighting, anyways. So I don't think he'd be out of shape. Robbie Lawler, I don't know. I know he's on the tail end of his career. So I think it's a good matchup. I think it's cool because both those guys came from the same era. Even though Nick Diaz has been out for a long time. I actually think the UFC owes him a lot of money for that. Some kind of reparations for getting him banned for weed.
And now it's okay. Like, it took this long.
That's why I'm saying now it's okay. Well, then you have to compensate for what you put people through in the past when you thought it wasn't okay, because all of a sudden now it's no problem, you know?
All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for us here at the MMA Mainstream Podcast. Thank you, folks, for joining us. And we will see you next week when we talk about what's going on in the world of MMA. Until next time, guys, we will see you later.